Hey, welcome to day 5 of our 5-day, and we're gonna have some bonus days, Live Thrive Challenge. Today is all about 7 superchargers for your challenge to guarantee your success. That I've found and learned over all the challenges I've done that there's at least 7 key things that I do with my challenges. Number 1, to get me the result and the success that I want with that challenge, but also to get the people that participate in that challenge the success and the result that they want. Because really that's what it's all about. If we're doing challenges for other people, it's about them getting a result. So what 7 things? We're going to talk about the 7 things we can do to really supercharge and get the success we want with our challenge. So let's dive right in. I'm going to break this down to the things that we do before, during, and after the challenge. Now, when we first decide we're going to do a challenge, I say before the challenge is all about promoting, getting attention, getting curiosity, building interest in your challenge, attracting people to your challenge. Now you're going to do this in both free and paid ways. I personally don't advertise for my challenges ever. I just use word of mouth and the strategies I'm going to tell you about right now, but I have yet to pay to advertise for people to participate in my challenges, especially my free challenges. Which almost all my challenges have been free. I think I've done a couple paid ones, but for the most part, my challenges are free because they're a way for me to find the people that I'm looking for to get more information about a project that I want to do, to test out whether I want to do a project or not, or just to do some personal development, some personal improvement of my own. And then I just bring people along with me because it's a lot more fun to do things with other people than it is to do them all by yourself. Now, before the challenge, let's talk about a couple key things in terms of promotion. How do you promote it? How do you share it? Where do you share it? If this is your first challenge, the first challenge you've ever thought about doing and inviting other people to, be upfront about that. Tell people, hey, this is my first challenge. I'm going to offer you this challenge. And the cool thing about doing free challenges and why I like free challenges is because you have a lot more leeway in where you can share them, where you can share the information about them. I like to do, number 1, share and promote your challenge on the platform that is native to your ideal customer. If your customers are on Facebook, of course, post it on your Facebook profile. Let people know you're doing a challenge. Hey, invite people to do it with you. Put it on all of your social media accounts. I have got actually a machine in place that I can take any one piece of information and I can disseminate it over at least 25 different places. I take one piece of content and I 25x it. I guess I'm gonna give you a little sneak peek. If that's something that you would be interested in and want to know about, type 25 in the comments below, and then I will schedule a bonus where I actually walk you through step by step how I take one piece of content and 25x it. So how would that help and how would that work if you decide you want to do a challenge, when you decide you want to do your challenge? Well, you create a little piece of content and then you share it over 25 different places. Now you have 25x to the amount of reach that piece of content is going to get, and guess what? They're all free. Every single one of the places that I share those 25 pieces of content are free. So again, if you want to know about that, put 25 in the comments below and I will add a bonus over the next couple of days to make sure that I get that information. Sorry about the phone calls. I'm obviously busy. I get lots of calls. So prior to the challenge, we want to make sure we're promoting it. We want to get as many people invited and as many eyes on our challenge as possible. Wherever you're doing it, share the link. Share the link, let people know. Now, share it in the groups and places that are already active and involved. Don't go into a bunch of other people's properties, other people's groups or pages, or on Facebook or on any platform. Don't scam and spam your link out there. Don't just share it all over the world. Invite people to participate, because when you just spam links out there or just share them everywhere, number 1, it devalues what you have to offer, right? If you're just, I hate on social media platforms when you friend somebody and the first thing they do is they try to sell you something. It just shows, and it makes them look desperate, right? It makes them look like they don't know better in terms of how to build relationships and be successful online. So if you're doing that, I apologize, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to give you some tough love. Stop doing that. Did I do that in the past? When I was involved in a network marketing company like 5 years ago, I hate to even admit it, but I made so many mistakes doing things like that in social media and online. I'm embarrassed, and I had a lot of people unfriend me and send me hate messages because I didn't know better. That's what I was being taught, and I thought, and I was told that that was the way to do it, and it's so embarrassing to think back now that I actually did those things, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I behaved that way. But I didn't know better. So be patient with people because they probably don't know better, but also let them know that, boy, that just doesn't work. That isn't really very effective for me. So be respectful of other people's properties, but also remember that you're there to help people. You want to help people get the answers that they need, solve the problems that they've got, solve a problem or get a result that they're wanting already, and you're going to help them to get that result through your challenge. So promote the living daylights out of it in every free place that you can. So all your current posting in social media, assuming that if you're listening to me, you've got some kind of social media going on already, you're going to go ahead and you're going to share that you're doing a challenge everywhere. I actually start sharing that I'm doing a challenge as soon as I get the idea. I do daily content, so in my groups and in my podcasts and on my pages, I let people know as soon as I have the idea that I'm going to do a challenge, I start talking about it. I start letting people know, hey, I've got this challenge coming up. And I usually set the date right away. Even though I might not know what the challenge is going to entail, the details of it are going to be, I pick the result I'm going to help people get or I'm going to get for myself, and then I pick the start date. Guess what? That puts absolutely a ton of cool pressure on me. Not negative stress, but eustress, positive pressure to actually launch on that day and get it done. I have yet, now I might be fibbing, I might have once had to alter the date or start at a different date. I did start one challenge at a different date. I was doing a 90-day YouTube influencer challenge with Heather Ann Havenwood, the sexy boss, and we actually changed the date of it. We did, but that's because there were two of us and we had to make it work with both our schedules. It wasn't because I wasn't sticking to my commitment. Once I say I'm going to do a challenge and I announce the date, I start that date, I figure it out. Somehow, I figure enough out to actually get through day one, and on day one, I figure out what I'm going to do for day two, and I make sure that it starts when I say it's going to. You have to do that. You have to build trust and credibility with people. You have to do what you say you're going to do, or they're never going to trust you again. And once, there'll be other people, right? There'll be other opportunities, but once you lose a group of people's trust, you lose a group of people's trust, and they're not ever going to do business with you again. So it just makes your job harder because you have to go out and find more different people, and you might have really stolen a great opportunity from somebody because you might have been the exact person they needed, but because you weren't coming off as trustworthy and credible, you lost that opportunity just with that person. So promote, share the living daylights out of it. Before you start, before that start date, before you press go on your first day of your challenge, it's all about inviting and promoting and getting people excited about coming to the challenge. You can do this again, all the free ways, or you can also advertise. If you're going to advertise and spend money on your challenge, really be smart about it, right? Nobody needs to be flushing money down the toilet. We need to be smart about how we're spending our resources, right? All of our resources are limited. So if you're going to pay to advertise, advertise on the platform and advertise only in the places that your ideal clients might be hanging out, where where they are hanging out. Make sure you know where they go, where they're congregating, and only spend your advertising dollars where that would be. And I could do a whole day on how do you promote, how do you share your challenge. I could totally do that. So this is just the highlights. So you're going to promote. Your focus is on promotion prior to the challenge starting. Now, I'm going to take a peek here. I'm sure I missed a whole bunch of stuff because this was actually 3 lessons of a course I taught on challenges. I'm merging into one quick lesson for this challenge because there's just so much more you could talk about and do, and the specifics of each of these things. So prior to the challenge, it's all about promoting and getting eyeballs on your challenge and getting people to come and show up. It's like if you're doing anything online, the hardest thing is to get people to show up. The longer the time between announcing and starting the challenge to the date that you actually start it, will determine when and where you spend your communication and your dollars. I say you talk about it every day from the time you're going to do it, you say you're going to do it, to the date that you start it. Advertising, not the same thing. people forget, people lose tracks. You don't want to advertise to a bunch of people way ahead of the challenge start date and then they forget about it and don't show up. It's like advertising for webinars. You don't advertise 2 weeks before your webinar because no one will ever show up. You don't advertise 2 weeks before your launch because no one will show up. You start planting seeds. Sorry, another call. You don't necessarily pay. So you would put maybe a few days or maybe a week max. I say you would pay to promote your challenge, but otherwise that if you're going outside that, you're just kind of wasting money and wasting resources. Now, during the challenge, this is when you totally 100% switch gears. Up to the challenge, before the challenge starts, it's all about attracting as many people as you possibly can and getting the word out and promoting it. The day the challenge starts, your focus changes 100% from attracting new people to focusing on the people that you've got, the people that are focusing on the challenge itself and providing the best experience you possibly can and delivering the best information, the best results, the best daily deliverables, everything that you can. It's 100% focusing on the people that are there. I go into my challenges assuming everybody who signs up is going to actually participate. Now, we know that 80% of the people that sign up for anything will never participate. They'll never do anything. And that's okay. I still treat everybody and assume everyone is going to participate. So I continue throughout the challenge to communicate with them, switching from announcing it and inviting people to the challenge to focusing on the people that are actually participating and taking action in the challenge. It's kind of like in corporate America, when you're a manager of people, or anywhere, when you're a manager of people or a leader of people, there's always a bell curve of people's performance, right? Most people are just doing their job, they're doing what they're supposed to do, and you get what you expect out of them. There's a few superstars that are always doing way more and are awesome, and we love working with them. And then there's always a couple people that are not doing what they're supposed to do, causing trouble, being negative, or whatever. You're going to have the same thing in your challenges. You're going to have most people will just be lurking and watching and not doing anything. Then you're going to have maybe 10 to 20% that are actually kicking butt, taking names, and doing the challenge with you. We're going to talk about that in a second. And then there's going to be some namesayers and some haters and some people that shouldn't be in your challenge. Those people, I'm going to be right up front. I kick them out. If you come in and are negative, are not doing anything, are derogatory, are mean, and I don't attract those people at all anymore, but in the beginning I did. Some of them sneak in, and sometimes it's just your competition watching what you're doing, right? People want to know what you're doing. They want to learn, and so they might be in, and if they behave in a negative, derogatory way in any way, out. That's why we have group mediators and things, is to kick people out. Nobody, at least in my challenges, I don't want anybody that's a naysayer or negative. It doesn't mean they're not having a difficulty with part of it or questioning something. That's perfectly okay. But they're just being haters and a negative influence, out they go. As I'm focusing on participating in the challenge, it's all about encouraging, coaching, and helping them, answering questions, supporting them in any way, shape, or form that you can. Now, if you can't do that, if I've got a challenge and there's 500 participants in it, guess what? That is too many people for me personally to interact with one-on-one. And then I get help. I actually have people help me to moderate and mediate and answer questions in those challenges. Challenges where there's just a couple of us or a few people, I would say I can personally handle up to like 100 people in a challenge. If I have 100 people in the challenge, I can interact with 100 people, because remember, we've got that bell-shaped curve and everybody isn't participating, right? Some people are, some people aren't. And so I'm only spending my attention and interacting with the people that are participating. So that's only like 20 people. Let's say 20 people in a 100-person challenge are doing the homework, doing the assignments, posting it, doing what they're supposed to in the daily deliverables. And they're the people that I'm focusing my attention on, supporting. They're the people that are getting the free coaching, right? They're the ones that are getting the most out of the challenge. And that's a secret, by the way. If you're doing someone else's challenge and you want to take advantage of it, what they're teaching you, and you want to get the most help and support out of it, participate, comment on their videos, comment in the ask questions, comment, be involved. Do the freaking homework and post it, or do whatever it is that they say that you're going to do it. Because guess what? They will notice. You will get their attention. It's the fastest, easiest way to get the attention of like the people that you want to interact with on a higher level and do business with. participate in their things and in their challenges. Be all in on it and see how much attention that you get, because they're all like me. We pay attention to the people that are running with us, right? So focus on people, recognize them. Recognize people for effort and trying, not just for showing up and listening, but for actually doing something. And keep in mind that we all start challenges. We all enter anything that we do from different places and different levels of experience. If I'm doing a get 5 new clients in 5 days challenge, and I have somebody that's brand new to their business, their coaching business or something, and they've never done a sales call, they've never done a Facebook Live, they've never been on social media, they've never contacted anyone, and one of the daily deliverables and the challenges is to do a Facebook Live speaking to your ideal customer. I'm just making this up, but that is, and if that person that's never done anything before gets up the gumption and the courage to do that challenge, I'm going to totally recognize and call that person out in a positive way and encourage them like daylights, versus somebody that's already done. Like if I go on and I do a Facebook Live challenge, I have personally done thousands, literally thousands of Facebook Lives. I wouldn't recognize me. I mean, I'd recognize me and say, hey, whatever, but I would expect more of me. I would expect me personally to get on and do a Facebook Live video every day if that's what the challenge calls for, because I've done enough of them that is not really a big stretch or a big comfort zone stretch for me to do that. But for somebody that's never done it before, that is humongous. That is a huge accomplishment. So remember that when you're acknowledging people and recognizing them, the amount of effort and the amount of courage it takes to do certain things is different for each of us. And we want to make sure that we're increasing people's status and recognizing them and paying attention to them throughout the challenge. And how do you do that? How do you know? Well, you only know if you're engaged with them during the process. So engage with people during the process, message them back and forth. That's why I like Messenger. You can actually message people back and forth throughout the challenge. And again, if you've got a bigger challenge going, which you're not going to right off the bat, but when you do, you have to have support and help that can help make sure that that happens, that support, that acknowledgement, that encouragement happens throughout the challenge. Now, what do we do after the challenge? What are the critical things that we have to do after the challenge to make sure that we really get the bang for the buck, the why we did the challenge in the first place, the results that we want? 2 things that are really, really critical. Number 1 is to offer people the next step. Offer people something. Do not ever leave people hanging. We can't leave people hanging. If it's all we're doing, if we leave people hanging and we don't offer them something or offer them the next step after our challenge, is we're doing them a disservice. We're doing ourselves a disservice, right? Because we've done all this work and all this fun educating for nothing. And then we're leaving people hanging. We're leaving them without an answer, without the next step, right? And that's not right. That's not fair. That's just warming them up for your competition, or for other people will have to come in and swoop in and fill the void that you've left by solving the first problem for them. Here's an interesting thing, and I think we know it, but we don't really pay attention to it all the times. Whenever you solve a problem for someone or give them a solution, you are automatically, although you're helping them to solve that problem, there's always another problem. It's creating another problem for them. So for example, let me describe what I'm talking about with respect to this. If I'm doing a 5-day challenge that helps you get 5 clients in 5 days, and you get 5 clients, what's your next step? Now, if you've already got an established business and you're set up to handle and you just want to get more clients, you've already got your program or your product or your service that you're going to offer them ready, no problem, right? You know what to do. But a lot of the people that are coming into your challenges, they want that result, but they haven't even thought about what they're going to do when they get that result. So all of a sudden, you help them get 5 new clients, and they have no way of delivering to those clients. They don't know what they're going to do yet and how they're going to deliver it to those clients. You're doing them a disservice if you don't help them with the next step in how they deliver to those clients. They've got the 5 new clients. Now, how and what are they going to provide to them, and how are they going to serve those clients? So you always have to keep in mind, if you're going to do a challenge, have something to offer them. Now I know I've got an amazing woman participating in this challenge, I'm going to mess up your name, I'm so sorry, Beckford, and she has a year-long program that she's already been selling, and she wants to get more clients. Say she wants to get more clients. Well, she can easily offer her year-long program after her 5-day challenge because she's already got the program established. There's going to be people that don't have that. So you might be having to teach people, for example, how to create their own program, how to have something to sell on the back end of their challenge. Just an example. So after the challenge, key thing is don't leave people hanging. Don't warm them up for nothing. Make sure you've got something to offer them. And it doesn't have to be something that you've already mapped out in detail. It might just be, hey, hop on the phone with me, or fill out an application to work with me, or another training or something that you've already established. I've got like, I don't know how many programs I've got in courses, but I've got lots of courses and programs. And so at the end of any challenge I do, I can automatically offer one of those depending on who the challengers are, who's participating, what their next step is probably going to be. That's going to be the thing that I offer. So also after the challenge, what is another big thing that you absolutely positively must do for the success of your challenge? That is probably the number one thing that most business owners are absolutely abysmal at, terrible at, and they don't do. They just don't. Okay, they just don't do it. They don't do it not because they don't know they should do it. They just don't bother to do it. They don't put the resources or the effort forth to make sure they do this. And that is follow up. You absolutely positively need to continue the relationship, continue communicating with people, and follow up. I can't tell you how many opportunities have come my way and the timing just wasn't right. I really wanted to do it. It's a great opportunity, but the timing isn't right now. I can't do it because I'm committed to other things, or there's something going on with my family or some other area of our life or my life, and I have to say no. Now, guess what? The people that follow up and stay in a relationship with me and continue to communicate with me through Messenger or through groups or through email or through phone calls or old-fashioned ways of communicating with people, those are the programs that when I'm ready for that, it's a reminder to me and I'm like, oh yeah, now I can do that. But if they don't ever follow up, if they don't keep in touch with me, guess what? Like everybody else, I'm busy, out of sight, out of mind. I will totally forget about it, and I will probably never go back. I never will go back. Let's be honest. We don't go back. I don't live in the past. I'm not going back. I'm not going to look for somebody's thing that I was interested in, but that I forgot about. I'm going to give an example. I was doing, I did earlier this year in January, Kelly Roach's coaching program and her live launch formula. Now, there's really attractive things about that, but I am already in 2 other coaching programs, and I'm moving and I'm selling my house and I'm doing all kinds of things, and I've got kids that need me and a granddaughter that needs me. So for me to be looking at and joining her program now or at that time, it wasn't the right time for me. It's still not the right time for me. But she's got a team of people that are continuing to build relationships and keep in touch with me. So if it does down the road in maybe 3 or 4 months become the right thing for me, the right next thing for me, I'm going to remember that because they're continuing to follow up and be in touch with me with respect to their program and what they have to offer. So follow up, offer the next thing. You got to follow up and you have to offer the next thing. I want to pop back just to promotion and make a comment that I just remembered about one of the key areas of sharing your challenge before the challenge starts. And that's, keep in mind that you don't have to keep all of your ways of promoting and getting the word out online or on the internet. Just because I'm on the internet talking now, I spoke about those things, but remember there's a whole slew of not old-fashioned, but proven, let's say proven instead of old-fashioned, strategies and techniques and ways of getting the word out about your challenge that most people aren't doing anymore, especially people that have moved to the online world. They forget, or they might not ever have even known how effective different methods of getting the word out are. Inviting people via postcard, posting, or using flyers. One of the biggest things my ex-husband and I learned in the real estate industry was the power of flyers to move a property. Yep, online is really, really powerful, but guess what? The old world offline ways are just as powerful. Networking groups, meetups. I love flyers. I love flyers. I love snail mail. Do you know how few cool things come in your mailbox anymore? I don't know about you, but The vast majority of what comes in my mail, if it's not automated already, is bills and total junk mail that I have no interest in. But if I got a nice invitation to a challenge to solve a problem that I've got or to get a result that I've wanted for a long time, I'm probably going to at least go check that out and see if it is for me or not, especially if it's in a fun mailed way. So don't forget about the old-fashioned or the old proven ways of getting the word out about something that you're doing. So let's do a quick recap, because I've kind of been all over the place, about what are the 7 things before, during, and after your challenge that you can use to supercharge your challenge and get the success that you deserve with your challenge. Before the challenge, promotion, promotion, promotion. It's all about getting the word out in a positive way about your challenge and inviting as many people as you possibly can to participate. Now, invite as many people in your target audience as you possibly can. Remember, we talked about that on day 2. Who is your challenge for? It is not for everybody. As much as we like to think everything we do is for everybody, that is one of the biggest problems in business, is the whole numbers game philosophy and thinking that, oh, what I have to offer, this water, everybody needs water, so they need my, I don't even know the brand, they need my Nature's Crystal pure mountain spring water that comes from somebody's city tap that's been filtered. There, that's the cynic in me. So, before the challenge, all about getting people, getting the word out. Free or paid, whatever works for you, you want to do that. During the challenge, it switches gears and it's all about encouraging, supporting, acknowledging, and increasing the status, and focusing on the people in the challenge, during the challenge. I actually have a secret strategy I forgot about, but I'm going to tell you. Every challenge that I do, not only do I lead the challenge, I also participate in it. So one of the best ways that you can get a feel for what does it feel like to be going through a challenge, your own challenge, is to actually not only lead it, but then be a participant in it. So I will do the challenge for the day, then I will actually do the homework, and in some instances, I'll actually record or do whatever the action item is, and then I will share that in the group, my answers, my doing the homework. So for example, I did the One Funnel Away challenge. The first time I did the One Funnel Away challenge, I listened to, now that wasn't leading that challenge, so it was different, but how I led people through that challenge was I participated in it as well. So each day I listened to the videos, then I summarized the videos and the lessons learned that I got from that, then I did my homework, and if it was a shorter homework assignment, I would actually video myself doing the homework, and then if it was a longer one, I would just walk through the I would share with them then my actual experience of the challenge. Because as a participant, I would see things and feel things and understand things differently than when I'm just leading it. And that was really powerful because that encourages people to participate. So my super secret is actually participate and do your own challenges. Don't just lead them. Also, again, after the challenge, the 2 key things that you want to remember are to follow up and not leave people hanging. Make sure you have something to offer them. So, what do I have to offer you after this challenge? I have an offer of working with me further. If that's something of interest to you, hit me up in the comments below and we will have a chat. We'll just do a quick phone conversation to see if, and I call these discovery calls, to discover whether you and I are a good fit or not. And if we are, great. If we aren't, then I will not leave you hanging, because I never want to leave people hanging. I will hook you up with somebody that is a good fit for you, or whatever your next step is. We can at least talk and determine, well, what is the next thing that you need to do to get moving on your challenges. Now, as far as bonuses go, I set this up as a 5-day challenge, but I want to do a couple bonus sessions over the weekend. And one of those is, how do I exactly, the how of exactly the mechanics do I set up my challenges? How do I structure them? How do I lead them? Where do I do them? And how do I get the biggest success out of them? I want to do a step-by-step walking you through the exact process of how I do that. So if that's something you're interested in, you have to say, show me how, in the comments below. If nobody says show me how in the comments below, I'm not going to do it. I'll just enjoy my weekend. And then remember about the 25. If you want to see the 25, put 25 in the comments below. So either type show me how or direct message me in some way, shape, or form that you want to see exactly how I do the challenges. I normally don't cover the how I do all the details of things unless I'm inviting you into a program or to work with me further. But if you ask, one time only, if you ask, I will go ahead and I will do it over the weekend, and then just I'll have to find a time slot that I can actually do that over the weekend. I'll pick a time and then we'll do it live, because I need to get on my computer, so I need to reset up all that structure, my microphone and everything, where it makes sense that I can be on my computer and sharing live. We'll either do a Zoom, or we'll do a Facebook Live, or we'll do something. We'll figure out something. I think Facebook Live, computer-wise, has gotten a lot more friendly. I haven't been using it lately as I've been going through moves and transition. So I would have to like refamiliarize myself. Oh, I could do StreamYard. I love StreamYard because I can do YouTube and Facebook at the same time. So, but only let me know. Let me know if you want me to do that. If you don't, I'm going to enjoy my weekend. I'm going to invite you to enjoy your weekend as well. Now, I'm not going to leave you hanging. If you still have questions, we'll do a Q&A session next week on... I'm going to commit to doing it on Monday right now. I'm writing down Monday Q&A. So if you have questions or specific things that you need, message them or comment them below, and I will make sure that you get your questions answered. We'll be live, so you can get your questions answered as well. And that'll be at noon again. Noon Eastern. I'm actually committing to this right now. Noon Eastern, which is 11 a.m. Central Time, which is my time. It's only going to be an hour max, because the little one will be coming back after that, and that becomes a chaotic time for me personally, with 3 dogs and a little one, because both my kids are traveling. So I'm puppy sitting, dog sitting, and granddaughter hanging out with, and so that makes it a little busy and a little loud when I want to participate. That's it. That's all I've got for you right now. If I can help you in any way, hit me up in the comments below. Your action item for today. I almost forgot to give you an action item today. Your action item for today is pick one thing for before, during, and after. Okay, it's kind of 3 things instead of 1, but it's really not. Pick and share in the comments below the one thing you're going to do before your challenge to let people know and invite people. The one thing you're going to do during your challenge to support, encourage, and participate with people. And the one thing you're going to do after your challenge to either follow up or offer people the next thing. Identify and offer people the next thing. So in your comment, you'll share before, during, and after. BDA, what you're going to do for your challenge. That is your action item for today. How could I predict an action item? Daily deliverable. Have a great day. I really enjoyed our time together. I'll be with you with some bonus sessions going forward. Thank you again for joining the challenge. I hope that you feel confident and comfortable now, knowing what you want, why you want to do a challenge, what's in it for you, who you want to do a challenge for, what's in it for them, and have honed in on a really specific group of people that you want to help and serve with your challenge, and a really specific result that you're going to get for them in whatever length your challenge is. That you understand what to do before, during, and after the challenge. That you know that the #1 way to get people to participate and to take action is to give them a daily action item, a daily step, a daily thing that they need to do to show that they're participating. And that if you need help with this, if you need help or have questions about anything with respect to challenge, just ask, just hit me up. I'd be more than happy to help you with that. Have an absolutely amazing day. Thanks for being challenged with me, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Have a great day. Bye.